Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy, Hikins and Trevor.
Of being in an air crash, I'll tell you, I won't ask you because it's too wide a question, are 1 in 825.5 million to 1. Now that's not far short of a billion. So 1 in 825 million to 1 of being involved in an air crash. Now, to win the Euro Millions lottery is 1 in 145 million. So you've got far more chance of winning that. I think the Powerball lottery in America, which they now have a $2 billion prize, the odds there are something like 1 in 600 or 700 million. So you've got more chance of that than ever being involved in an air crash. But perhaps a better statistic, a more encouraging one, is you could fly statistically every day for roughly 2,500 years, and even then only have a small chance of being involved in an air crash. Now, okay, that's statistics, and if some could say, well, that you go back to January, there were 2 or 3 unfortunate air crashes. There was a collision with a helicopter in Washington, and statistics mean nothing if you happen to be on that plane. But the fact is, that happens, thankfully, to a tiny, tiny, tiny number of people, however tragic, and it was tragic, any air crash is tragic, but it is so rare, so unusual, that the vast majority of humanity will never, ever experience anything like that. And yet, people who are frightened of flying, they'll get into their car and not think, actually, this is a potentially far more dangerous thing to do than actually flying in an aeroplane. There was a sad story, it was either earlier this year or sometime last year, where there were 2 Ryanair pilots, 2 young fellows. One was 34, he was a captain, one was 28. They flew their plane back to Luton Airport, delivered their passengers, and then they had to get, I think, down to Gatwick Airport. So they took a taxi from Luton Airport early hours of the morning to come down to Gatwick. And very, very sadly, the taxi was involved in a bad collision on the motorway, which killed them both. Now, that is a bit of a it's a sad reminder that being on the roads is a lot more dangerous than being in an aeroplane. So it may, and our thoughts with those families and with those pilots. But in fact, it's worth remembering that if someone is thinking, I'm too scared to go on an aeroplane, it's a very safe place to be. You're going to be perfectly safe 99.9999% of the time. So I recommend it as a means of travel. It's an incredible experience. You say there's not much to see, but it's just the sheer exhilaration, and the most important point perhaps about flying is it's an exact science. People don't get into an airplane and hurtle 160 miles an hour down a runway and hope for the best. Oh, let's hope this is all right. It's a precise, exact science where everything is measured to the nth degree in terms of the lift of the plane and the thrust and all those things that go into it. And when you're on the aeroplane, as you take off, it's incredible. And I've just come back from a holiday in America, and you take off and you hear the thump of the wheels coming up. You get to know the sounds, and then the flaps on the wings are going in and going out, and the plane turns. And it's actually quite exhilarating if you just enjoy it. I know if you can't do that, it's hard, but if you let yourself go, overcome any anxiety, it's a wonderful experience flying. And it does come back to our main point. It brings home what an incredible invention an aeroplane is. How long do you think the longest commercial flight today is? And what flight would that be? Any ideas? How long do you think it would be? Non-stop. I'm talking of non-stop flight.
Should I go first? I'll go first.
Yep.
But it'll be something down to Japan or something. 13 hours or
Well, no, 13 is a long time, but the longest one, non-stop, is Singapore to New York. And it's
Right.
18 hours 50 minutes, so nearly 19 hours in the sky. Now, my flights to and from Las Vegas were around 10 hours. I think 10 and a half going, just under 10 coming back. And that's a long time to be on an aeroplane. It is. But then again, these days they give you a couple of meals. There's always drinks. You can ask for drinks. They bring them round. You've got a screen in front of you on the seat in front of you where you can watch movies. Lots of choice of movies or games you want to play or anything. You can do so many things to pass the time. And yes, a long flight can be a bit tedious, can get a bit boring, but it's also, especially if you're going to, like you said about wanting something to as a reward, you're going on a holiday, you've got all that to look forward to.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.